Good morning, friends. How you doing this fabulous Saturday morning? It is so great to have you back here. It's been about a month since I've gone live. There's been so much going on. I don't know about you, but ending the month of May, and now we're starting the month of June. So here we are. School is probably out. Graduations have been happening. Lots of things are opening up. We are somehow getting back to some sense of normalcy. And so I'm just glad to be here. And I hope you take a moment to kick back and grab a cup of coffee, or if you have juice or wherever you are, just take a moment, pull up a chair. Let's chat and catch up. I've got some fun things to share with you. And speaking of sharing, I'm going to share this link on my profile so we can invite some more friends to come join us. But thank you for joining me this morning. It's a pleasure to have you here. If this is your first time to catch me live, welcome. My name is Renee Hardin. I am an editor. I'm a writer. I'm a writing coach. I love to help people tell their stories, share their stories, shape their stories so that they can put them out there in the world in whatever format that they want, whether it's a blog or an article or maybe even a book that you're wanting to write. Mm. Well, I love getting to see everybody on here. Good morning, Miss Sherry. How are you doing this morning? Great to have you here. I saw the temperatures in Fargo yesterday. My goodness, it's warmer there than it is here in Dallas, Texas. So I hope you get a little reprieve from the hot summer months. Good morning, my dearest girl. Look at that beautiful new profile picture. Love that. Love that. Well, it's great to have you all here. If you are joining me live, definitely pop in the comments and say good morning because I love getting to say hello to all my friends who are joining the broadcast live. And if you're watching via replay, feel free to also pop in the comments, tell me hello, tell me where you're joining from. And thanks for being here. Appreciate it. So, as you know, every week I like to share a specific mug from my mug collection. Can you see that there? This is my mug from the beautiful place called Sea Island in Georgia, where we spent our family annual trip there. That's why I have not been live. We've had a lot going on. Gosh, traveling to an annual family trip that we take, all of our family gets together and spends the Memorial Day week together. And the weather was absolutely stunning and beautiful. So, yes, the Sea Island, Savannah, yes, we love it there. It's also the place where Michael, my husband, and I got married 4 years ago. So we get to celebrate in a beautiful place, being by the beach. The weather was absolutely fantastic. No humidity. We did have some choppy winds the first day, so much so that the beach patrol put out the red flags. We could not go down to the beach because they couldn't even put up the umbrellas or chairs or anything. The wind was so strong. However, day 2 on, we had stunningly beautiful weather. I mean, the type where you can sit out on the back porch at night, listen to the ocean waves roll in, take nice long walks on the beach in the morning or even in the evening. Absolutely fantastic weather. So that's always a fun way, right, to kick off the summer season. So, like I said, school has probably ended in your area. If not, it's probably close to ending. Graduations are happening, both high school and college. And I got to tell you, this morning I am sipping and saluting all of the students who went through this last pandemic year. I got to tell you, from the students last year who had to graduate in the middle of the pandemic to the students this year who hopefully were able to get back to some sense of normalcy, have their proms, have some football games, have some activities and things to go to. But while this pandemic is winding down, and so thankful for it. Have you received your vaccine? I hope you have, because the fact that so many people are getting vaccinated has kind of helped tamp down the spread of this COVID virus. And, you guys remember when we got shots for measles and mumps and rubella? The fact that polio doesn't exist because we have a vaccine for it, right? So this is just another case of something hitting us out of the blue. The scientists, the doctors, the healthcare workers who worked tirelessly around the clock caring for so many ill people, the scientists who, had to work double time trying to come up with a vaccine for us to take to help us fight off this virus. So I hope you've had it. If you are one that chooses not to get vaccinated, I understand that too. Hope you're taking precautions though with masks and things because we don't want to, possibly put someone else's life in jeopardy with this disease. But fortunately, travel is picking up. Memorial Day weekend was a huge weekend for travel because a lot of people are finding their sense of normalcy again. Hopefully, where you are, things have opened up, businesses opening up. We're still going to have a few more ripple effects from this pandemic as I don't know if you've encountered it, but we have in just still waiting on things for repairs or replacement appliances in our house. As you know, if you followed me for a while, Michael and I moved into our new house just this last year during the pandemic and just trying to get repairs on things or finding things, the whole world shut down for because of what was happening with this pandemic. And so that has created a backlog in supply. It's also created a backlog in available workers. So, we're still going to be dealing with some outerlying effects of what happened with this pandemic. Let's do so graciously, gracefully, patiently, understanding that we've not faced a pandemic in our lifetime. I don't know about you, but the last pandemic we had was in 1917, and that one was deadly. So we haven't really faced one in our lifetime. We haven't really faced having these diseases pop up like this. And we may have another one, who knows? But hopefully this has helped us learn how to combat some of those things, how to trust our scientists and our doctors and people that we trust with our health to know that they're doing the best that they can with the knowledge that they have. And as they learn more about this virus, they're going to make changes to the protocols. I mean, the last big pandemic, not really a pandemic, but the last sort of health crisis that we really had that was huge that I remember was when HIV was rampant and the protocols and the things that they were trying to learn because they didn't really know what it was or where it came from or how people, transmitted it. We discovered it was transmitted in blood transfusions. Imagine that. So, because of learning that information, assimilating that information and making changes as the information became available, that's how we make progress. So, hopefully, we're over the hard part of this, hoping we're not going to have another surge, but at least we know what we can do to take steps to help protect ourselves and to protect others. So, has been going on, guys. And as you know, I always try to bring you the latest in books that are coming out for the summer season. This is a great time to pick up some fun reading. If you're having issues with your kids or your little ones who don't want to sit still for reading, let me ask you, do you sit down and read? Do your children see you taking the time to read? Do you sit down and read with them and read to them? Because if we want our children to learn to read, we can't make reading a chore or a punishment. That causes that kills that love of learning and that love of reading. And it's always going to be a struggle with your kids if you don't sit down and read with them or read to them or show them that you're a reader. Um, you are feeling hopeful. I am too, Sherry. I'm really feeling hopeful because, there's going to be a lot of change, a lot of adaptation as we learn more. But hopefully this summer season can be the start to a fun season where we can get outdoors, we can do things with our family, with our friends, we can go visit places. So I'm hoping you're going to be doing some fun reading. And when I mean fun reading, I mean reading for pleasure, reading that just catches you up in a great story and transplants you somewhere else. Maybe it takes you back in time. Maybe it takes you to a fantasy place. Or maybe it takes you back to a beautiful place that you remember. Or it takes you into the lives of somebody that you really admire, that you want to learn from. So there's so many great fun books coming out, and I wanted to share some with you. But first, let's talk about another fun thing that happened Memorial Day week, when we returned home from our trip. The very next day, ah, we had the Friends TV show reunion. How many of you are Friends fans? Are you a Friends fan? If you know me long enough, you know I'm a huge Friends TV show fan. So I was ecstatic. So many people, we were waiting for the reunion to come back. A lot of people thought it might be an actual episode of Friends. Um, and yet the producers of the show, when the show ended, always said that there would not be another show or another series or like a movie where they all get together and we find out what happened to the characters. No, because we left the characters on a good note. And in our minds, in our hearts, we can imagine where everybody ended up. Did Monica and Chandler have more children? Did Ross and Rachel have more children? Did they finally get married? What happened to Phoebe and her husband, right? What happened to Joey? Did he ever find somebody? So it's always fun for stories to end and for them to stay that way. A lot of times when people try to pick up an old storyline and they try to, you know, continue it on, it just somehow doesn't have the same feel as the original story. Yes, Savannah, Friends for life. So the Friends series, well, of course, that has just reignited the love of the TV show. I mean, the show has been in syndication now for how many years? The show came out in 1994. It ended in 2004. And here we are in 2021, and the TV show is still popular and still in syndication and now streaming where we can watch it, right? Well, it was a great show. I thought it was. I think the way that they did it, the way they edited in, having different cameo appearances by people who were popular in the show, that was really huge. And I loved the way that they had the actors do table reads of some of the iconic scenes and then flashed back to those scenes and then did them again. They had so much fun, and their chemistry, they were still on their marks after all these years. Hearing the actors talk about what a joy it was and how they did become truly close knit working on the show. And they were able to channel those feelings, those emotions into their characters and bring them to life in such a magical way that we still enjoy them today, right? How many of you were surprised about Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer actually kind of having a crush on each other during the whole storyline of Ross and Rachel, and how they never they never actually had, anything go further than beyond just their crushes, because both of them were all off and on in different relationships, but they took that chemistry and they channeled that into their characters. And because they didn't have any baggage, they were able to portray those characters genuinely and honestly and help us sort of become emotionally connected to them as well, right? So that's what's amazing about great stories and people who write great stories. Another great thing that I loved during the special that they brought out about the people who were writing it. So, Savannah, you were so happy with how they did the reunion. You didn't think you could love the show more, but you do. Right. We have a renewed love and sense of appreciation for what they did. And what I appreciated was the producers and the writers giving us a behind the scenes look at how they filmed the show and tested it in front of a live audience, right? And they don't film shows like that anymore. Shows are streamed and they're made for streaming, so there's not that sense of live interaction with an audience. But what I loved is that they showed how they would write the scenes, they would film it in front of a live audience, and if the audience didn't respond well or react well, they would stop. The writers went off in a corner, like, they showed this in a interviewing with Ken Bright and David Crane and Marta Kaufman, the creators of the show. But they showed the writers going off in a corner and reworking the jokes, reworking the lines so that there would be a better joke, and then they would come back and film that scene again with the new, lines written. The actors were able to do it, and they got the response that they needed. And so that was a way to see how they were developing the story live because of the feedback they were getting from their audience. So when I work with clients and I work with authors who are writing stories and sharing drafts of their stories, the reason why it's so important to get your story in front of what we call beta readers. These are people who read through your story for the first time and give you some honest feedback. Did they connect with the characters in your story? Did the dialogue keep them engaged? Um, did they appreciate the story plot and the conflict and how you handled resolving some of those conflicts, developing the characters? Um, did the protagonist achieve their goal or their dream or their love connection in the story? Did they vanquish that enemy? Did they achieve what you wanted them to achieve in your story? And so that feedback allows you to build and write a better story, which is what the writers did of the show and help them create and write more for the rich characters of Chandler, Monica, Phoebe, Joey, Ross, and Rachel to create a 10-year series that we grew to love and appreciate and that we're still appreciating today. So that's the importance of getting that feedback from your audience, knowing who your audience is and connecting with them and writing such rich characters that they could then relate to and escape with. I loved hearing all of the interviews and clips of people around the world who shared how much this show meant to them, how many times in their lives when their lives weren't going great or they felt like they were alone, that they were able to sit down and tune in and feel like they had friends that they could follow, that they could become involved with, and how watching that show helped some people through the hardest periods in their lives. And so that's the power of a great story. So, what's really cool is that now Friends is coming out in a children's book form. So I'm so excited because, like I said, I love sharing new books and I love getting to share with you works that other people are doing. So I want to share with you real quickly here just some great books that are coming out that you probably need to get a copy of and share with your friends. So I'm really excited about this one. Yes, you know me, I've already ordered copies of it, but there is a new children's book coming out called Life is Better Than Friends. This is a storybook for children that talks about the friends, how Monica is the organized friend. She loves to clean and help you, and she also cooks and shares a lot about the different friends. Here, I'm going to pull up some information. Um, and so there's going to be also now the book doesn't release until October. You can pre-order it now, but it's just going to be so fun. So let's see. I'm trying to find. Okay, so here's the description. For when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year, your friends will be there for you. Rediscover many of the amazing and heartwarming moments that Ross, Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, Chandler, and Joey experienced in the hit TV show Friends. You'll get to see Central Perk, Rachel and Monica's apartment, Marcel the monkey, and a whole lot more. But they talk about the importance of friends and how important friendship is. So this is a picture book. It's for littles. If you have little ones, ages, I don't know, about 4 to about 8, this will be a perfect little book that you could sit down and read with them and share your love of the Friends TV show. So again, it comes out October 5th, but you can pre-order it now so that you can get a copy of it the minute it drops. And yes, I've already purchased some copies for some little friends of mine, so I cannot wait for the book to come out. It's gonna be so much fun. I love getting to share those kinds of things, and when I can share my love of friends, why not? And help others, help little ones learn the importance of making friends and building friendships, right? So that's really gonna be a fun book to come out, and I'm looking forward to that one. Now, a book that is coming out next week, and this has been kind of anticipated also, Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, has written her first picture book. And so it is called The Bench. And this is a story for children that is centered around the love of a father and his son, the relationship of a father and a son through the eyes of mom. And so, of course, Megan is writing this book from her own perspective, from her own heart. So she's trying to capture the evolving and growing relationship between a father and a son as she's watching Harry and Archie develop their relationship. So the bench gives readers a window into shared and enduring moments between a diverse group of fathers and sons, moments of peace and reflection, trust and belief, discovery and learning, and lasting comfort. So this book is coming out this Tuesday. So um, if you have a friend who has a father and they have a son, maybe this might be a great little picture book that you can share with them. Fun little summer read to share the love of the developing relationship between fathers and sons. So that's a fun read. That's going to be fun. Now, there's been some controversy, unfortunately, around the book. Um, Megan has been accused of plagiarism because there is another book entitled The Bench that has come out that has a similar storyline. So there's been a little kerfluffle about that. You know, I hope they can catch a break as they are trying to walk out their life, their new life, away from the royal family and establishing themselves here in the United States. So that's got to be tough. But hopefully, if she's embarking on a writing career and wants to write some books and do some things, I hope that their ventures that they try will have some success because everybody deserves a chance, especially if they're writing a book, right? So another fun book that is coming out, and these are some fun adult books. So there is a popular author by the name of Emily Henry, and she comes out with a book pretty much about every summer. And so this book has been on the most highly anticipated summer read list um, because Emily had a great book, and I'll share the one that she wrote last year. Let's see, get that up on the screen here. But this is the most anticipated summer read. It's called People We Meet on Vacation. Have you ever had a fun time where you went on vacation somewhere and you met someone, maybe a new friend? Well, since we're talking about making friends, well, that's kind of what this book is about the people that we meet on vacation. So there are two characters in this book, Poppy and Alex. And let's see here. Oh, that's not the book I want. That's her other book, which I'll show you in just a second. It's called Beach Read. But Emily Henry is an author that writes really great books for us to take on vacation, to read on vacation, right? And so this one is called People We Meet on Vacation. So it's about two best friends and 10 summer trips. So Poppy and Alex and Poppy, they have nothing in common. She's a wild child. He wears khakis. She has insatiable wanderlust. He prefers to stay home with a book. And somehow, ever since a fateful car share home from college many years ago, they have become the very best friends. For most of the year, they live apart. She's in New York City. He's in their small hometown. But every summer, for the last decade, they take one glorious week of vacation together. until 2 years ago when they ruined everything, and they haven't spoken since. Poppy has everything she should want, but she's stuck in a rut. When someone asks her when she was last truly happy, she knows without a doubt that it was on that ill-fated final trip with Alex. And so she decides to convince her best friend to take one more vacation together, lay everything on the table, and make it right. And miraculously, he agrees. Now she has a week to fix everything. If only she can get around the one big truth that has always stood quietly in the middle of their seemingly perfect relationship. What could possibly go wrong? Well, you'll have to find that out when you read People We Meet on Vacation. It's in the genre of romance comedy. Emily Henry does a great job of writing that. I've read her book, One Day in December, and the other book that she came out with last year, which is another great summer read. So if you're looking for some great summer read ideas, that's what I'm here for. So the other book that she has she wrote last year, is called Beach Read, right? What more would you want to be able to take a book on vacation with you, especially when you go to the beach, and have a fun read to just get away and relax? Well, here's two of Emily Henry's great books. She's a great writer, does great summer beach type reading. When you go to the pools, if you go visit, if you travel, pay attention to what people are reading around the pool. And I can guarantee you one of these books might just be in their hands that they're reading. So I'll be posting links to where you can get all of these in the comment thread. And if you're in my VIP group, you know you'll be getting links to all of these. But I've got one fun book that I cannot wait to tell you about that we're currently reading in our book club. So book clubs are always fun. Book clubs are a way to get together and read books and discuss them with your friends. And so I do have a book club. We have a book club, and we just finished a great book called Effortless by Greg McKeown. This book was really helpful, really insightful, because it helped us learn how to make it easier to do what matters most. After the pandemic year we've had, guys, I don't know about you, but that was some hard work. That was some hard work. And so I'm looking forward to having an effortless summer and an effortless start to the fall and to a new school year. I love helping authors tell their stories. So I've got some that I'm working on now that will take us well into late summer, early fall. So important. That does sound like a fun read. Yes, it does sound like a fun read, Savannah. So again, all of those books are designed to help you find just some fun summer reading. You are loving the Midnight Library so far. You can't wait to dig into it again. So yes, let me, and I'm going to pull this picture up for you guys, because our June book pick is a book entitled The Midnight Library. Let me get this picture. Let me put this up here. Here we go. This is it. Yes. I want to make sure I've got the right picture. Here we go. Yes. So I'm really excited about this one. We have started this, but it's not too late for you to join us if you still would like to get in on our summer reading, because we're going to be doing some fun reading this summer. So I am excited because our June book club pick is the book entitled The Midnight Library. And the premise of this is, what would you do differently if you had a chance to go back and undo any of your regrets? So we have a character named Nora, and Nora finds herself in a predicament. She's had just a crappy set of circumstances happen to her that have just sort of dominoed. And, for a lot of people, this pandemic has been that way. People have lost their jobs, they've lost loved ones, they've had to sort of pivot and figure out how to work from home. Parents have had to suddenly learn how to teach and school their children. Children have had to be at home, not with their friends at school. So much about life has changed and made it difficult. But what happens when life turns that way and you suddenly are faced at a crossroads? Well, Nora gets to do that, and Nora gets to experience that by going to the Midnight Library. And the Midnight Library is filled with all sorts of stories, different types of stories that all could have been Nora's life had she chosen differently. So Nora gets to go back to the Midnight Library and check out some stories of how her life could have been. And if we were able to do that, would we pick another life or would we be content with the life that we have? Realizing that all of those stories make up our greater story, right? Well, if any of these books are of interest to you, I would love for you to join our book club. You join my VIP group, you will get email notifications of when we're having live discussions about what we're reading. I also try to keep you informed of the latest books that are coming out, so that you can always have some great book ideas at your fingertips. So if you would like to join the book club, I would love to have you. So what you need to do is go to my website right here. Go to reneehardin.com/contact. And you can check the box for that you are interested in the Through the Pages book club. That is the name of our book club, and we love to have you there. So you will be added to, once you drop me your email address and let me know you want to be a part of the book club, you will be added to my special VIP Facebook group where you will get information first and also an email notification of when we are having our live discussions. You'll get my newsletter, you'll get some other fun things. And so hopefully you can join and be a part of our book club discussion over the Midnight Library. Um, it's so interesting already. You are hooked. Me too. And when an author writes great stories, and the author, Matt Haig, has also written children's books as well as books for adults. So he has a wide range of experience in writing. And when you get to read from writers who are good at what they do, it helps you become a critical thinking reader, right? Developing your vocabulary and also help you learn different styles and ways that people tell stories so that someday, if you want to share yours, you have great examples to pull from. So, hope you can join us. We would love to have you. It's our summer book club pick of the Midnight Library, and I'm loving the book so far. It's so hard to slow down when you get involved in the book. We have 2 dates set for our discussions for this book, so I can't wait, and I hope you'll join us. Or maybe pick up a fun read that you've been wanting to read this summer. Tell me the books that you like to read. Are there any fun reads that you have planned for the summer? I hope so. And if not, that's what I'm here for. I love to share great stories and great books with you. So, our theme for summer, it's the good old summertime. It's warmer outside. Maybe you're getting outside gardening for the first time. Um, are you going swimming? Do you like kayaking? Maybe you're going to go camping. Maybe you're not traveling anywhere and you're just having fun in your own backyard. Whatever it is, I hope you have some fun summer activities planned. And if you need help with those, I've got a list of some fun summer activities that you can share with your kiddos and do because boy, don't we know keeping them busy this summer after the pandemic year we've had, kids and deserve to get to have fun and enjoy themselves. So hopefully you're able to get your kiddos outside. Um, you have your copy. Great, Sherry. I'm so glad. Listen, it's a fun read and I'm enjoying it so far. So, when we have our book discussions, we're going to talk about things like um, character and the plot, how the author is handling building that excitement, that tension in the story, the dialogue. What are some things we like? What are some things we don't like? Talk about the themes. What is it that the author's trying to get across? What do you think the author's trying to communicate to us through these stories? all those fun things that we get to do when we talk about great books and great stories. So, if you're interested, again, we'd love for you to join. I'll put the link up again so that you can see it and invite your friends. If this is a book you've been wanting to read, or maybe you've been thinking about joining a book club and you just haven't really found one you want to join yet, feel free to join ours. We have a fun time in our discussions. We start off the discussions with music, we catch up with each other, and then we dive right into our story. So, if you would like to join us, even just for the summer months, we'd love to have you. You're really looking forward to it, Kelly. Well, great. Yes, I'm looking forward to our first discussion too. And so if you would love to join us, we'd love to have you. Some of the people in this comment thread, they're in our book club. And so they've been with me for a while where we've been, getting our heads around some great stories, great books, fiction and nonfiction. So we're diving into fiction this summer because why not? Fiction is a great way to escape and to experience other places, other people, and other worlds through the beauty of a great story. So, and if you have a story kind of bubbling up inside you, maybe you've thought about writing a story, maybe you're going to capture some stories this summer of some great trips and things that you and your family are doing. Maybe you've been capturing some stories through the pandemic of what you've overcome. I hope you're capturing all of that because some of those stories are important to pass down to others. So important to share what we've learned, what we know, what we enjoy, and share that with others. And especially when we can share a piece of us and pass that on to our friends, our family, and whoever will listen, right? So, the beauty of this live stream platform is that we're able to connect and share our stories here. I hope you're doing that. I hope that when people interact with you on social media, they walk away feeling refreshed and encouraged because that's what the power of a great story can do for you. So, I hope you'll join me because I've got some fun things planned. My husband and I are going to be traveling this summer. We are excited to see our friends, see our family, and spend time with them now that things are starting to open up and that we are fully vaccinated. So maybe I'll be stopping by a city where you are. Maybe you'll be coming through Dallas. If you do, I hope you'll drop me a note and let me know because I would love to sit down and share a cup of coffee with you. But in the meantime, thanks for joining me here. It's always a pleasure. And if I could help you share your story, please let me know how I can help you. Pick up some of our fun summer reads, share some of your favorite summer reads with me, and I look forward to sharing our summer read of the Midnight Library with you in our book club. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. Remember, there's stories going on all around you. What are some of the stories going on in your life? How do you play a part in those stories? And more importantly, what are the stories that you want to create? We're doing it every day, guys. Let's make the most of today and share our best with those we come in contact with. Thanks for sharing your time here with me. I appreciate it. Those who are watching live, thank you so much for being here and for commenting. And for those who are watching via replay, love and appreciate you as well. I hope you'll join me back next weekend where I'll be live streaming. Where is Renee going to be going? Well, you'll have to tune in next Saturday and find out where I live stream live from a great travel destination. And I hope you'll join me because I love sharing my stories. I hope you'll share some stories with me too. Guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you back here next Saturday.